They put out The Code back in 2019. That's the title track right there. Kicking off the third set triple play feature was XIXA with Bloodline, an album that they released in 2016. Right now we've got the one and only Brian Lopez on the phone. Brian Lopez, how's it going this evening?
Hey everyone out there. Everything is great. I watched a couple episodes of Arrested Development. Now I'm talking to you guys.
Sipping a little mezcal. Oh, excellent.
Yeah, just pour a little mezcal. I'm going to do a little bit of recording before I inevitably have to go to sleep, but try to do a little bit of something tonight.
Very fun. We just recently started revisiting Arrested Development ourselves, so everybody's at that cycle in the quarantine, it seems like.
Highly recommended. Yeah, you can't watch too much serious stuff. Needed a little bit of a break, and Arrested Development does it for me.
Well, we're in the middle of a third set triple play. Thank you so much, Brian, for taking the call this evening. You guys have a brand new EP that is releasing February 19th. Hope and I were actually discussing earlier this evening about getting that Gold Nugget piece of vinyl. Now, I told you earlier that I wanted to talk to you about the fact that you are a veteran musician. You are an accomplished solo musician. And I just wanted to ask you briefly, what's it been like? Because you guys have had, in my opinion, several successful projects together as a band. But what's it been like getting to work with the group that is XIXA? Because in my opinion, it's a group of some of the best at what they do. And there's two ways that could go. It could go the Real Housewives direction, or it could go the Voltron direction. And it seems like you guys have really gone the Voltron direction. What's that been like for you? And how long have you guys been working as a band?
Well, I'm not so sure I understand the Housewives metaphor, but I do understand the Voltron metaphor. So, like, when we get together, we're stronger kind of thing. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. The Housewives is like everyone gets together and kind of bickers a little bit.
Oh, well, well, you know, we've been together since like 2012 or 13 when we started as a cover band called XIXA Dust, and we just did Peruvian chicha, and we've had to kind of get serious at some point and start writing original music. And then at some point you have to get on the road, and we've done that for years now. And let me just tell you, there are the housewife fights on the road. Nothing's so clear cut. We've been through everything together, and the people that remain we're like brothers, you know, like, so we're really tight, and we've been through hell and back. And just to be able to work with these guys, and we've just all grown together professionally more than anything, and as like a sonic organism, really, from how we function in the studio to how we write together to how we organize our, you know, our press calls, to how we organize with management. Like, everything is each time you go out there on the road, you kind of like get a little bit more efficient at it. So now we're in a really good place with how we're sounding, and live we've always been good, but we're always trying to get better, of course. And yeah, it's because of all these guys that have committed themselves for so long, for reasons God knows why. It's not the most glamorous lifestyle out there on the road. I don't know what makes us do it, but we're all equally crazy in that regard. So maybe that's what brought us together in the first place.
Nice.
And yeah, it's been good. Been good with these guys.
And so last year we had the Year of Years. I do recall you guys were getting ready to head overseas for a European tour, as a matter of fact. Now, and of course, as we all know, the story ends up that COVID went ahead and shut down the planet. But was Eclipse EP a product that you guys were working on in advance of going on that tour, or was Eclipse EP something that happened in lieu of that tour?
Well, let me correct you real quick before we move on. Eclipse is not an EP, and we have an LP coming out on Friday that's called Genesis.
Oh, okay.
And Eclipse is a single from Genesis. So okay. I know I saw that on like Spotify or Apple Play, where if you click on the single, it says Eclipse EP, and I found that to be kind of confusing. So maybe that's where you got that.
Yeah,
from.
that was where we got the information. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I just want to clear it up for the listeners. We've had a long-awaited LP. We had to push it back a whole year and some change due to COVID. Last March 2020, we were flying our bassist over from France so we could rehearse and go over. We were going to go to South by, and then we needed to shoot some music videos and photos and yada, 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 just to try to get ready for a album release. And then literally on his flight over, South by Southwest was canceled. And then if you recall, the NBA shut down their season, and then each domino started to tumble after that. So we got stuck with a Frenchman in my house for about 2 weeks, and he was all freaked out because his family was in Europe where it was, at least 3 weeks advanced over there, and things were way worse. And it was kind of a freaky, scary moment for all of us. It was hard to actually get him back into his own country. But just goes to show you, you thought you had everything planned for 8 months, and then in a millisecond, it seemed like our plans were flipped over, and we had to reevaluate what we were going to do. So we pushed the album back, not once or twice. I think we had to push it back 3 times. So this Friday, it's finally coming out. Thank God.
And so what led to the decision to finally release it now?
What led to that?
Yeah. What led to the decision to finally say, all right, now's the time?
Right. Well, we kept pushing it back to like summer 2020, and then it was September 2020 because we kept thinking things might clear up, or at least, the booking agents thought it would clear up to the point where we could tour behind it, because that's what you do. You put out an album, and then you go and tour behind it. And then, if there's no tour, if COVID has kind of taken over all of live events, there's no reason at some point to just keep waiting. You might as well just put it out. And that's, for us, it's like we're putting it out to February 19th. We're crossing our fingers that we can tour on this album, but there are just so many things out of our control that it's just, there's no point in trying to control everything that's with outside of your reach.
No,
so yeah, February 19th sounded good.
So then, optimistically speaking, what are you guys looking at down the road? Are you optimistic that you will get out there and support this album in the very near future, or is that the extended future that you'll get to go out and support this album?
No, I think the reality is around the music industry is that touring, the most optimistic you could be is maybe fall of this year, but I highly doubt that'll happen. I think it'll be more like 2022, so we're already in the studio writing new stuff, and we can't, like I said, we can't control elements outside of our reach, and we can only do what we can. And touring just doesn't seem to be in the cards right now. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Well, I'm not too worried about it.
We look forward to the awesome release this Friday of the Genesis album. Let's go ahead and play one more off of that album to close out the third set triple play. I promised everyone it was title tracks, but I completely missed the mark on this final one. But at the same time, Eclipse was an instant favorite of mine because I saw the video for it. I loved it. It has a very Tucson and Southwest feel. Plus, you and Gabriel are two badasses just walking around. So I absolutely loved it. Thank you very much, Brian. Let's close out this set right now with Eclipse from XIXA on the Arizona 411 third set triple play feature.